Well, good morning, everybody. This is Rick with Hit and Run Candlesticks. Today's date is Monday, the first day of June on this 2023. Hey, we're going to get kicked off here pretty quick. We're going to take a look at some charts, talk about the market, also a stock I'm pretty sure that I'm going to buy today, tomorrow, maybe Monday, and I'll be talking about that with a little particulars. So hang tight. I'll be right back in about 10 seconds. Oh, hey, sorry. I wanted to remind everybody, sorry about that. I want to remind everybody that check below if you're interested in a trial with us. Below there's a link. There's a 50% discount. The promotion code is capital H, capital R, capital C, 50. HRC 50. That'll get you 50% off the 30-day trial. You'll learn a lot, okay? So join in. Give me 10 seconds now. I'll be right back. Well, good morning, everybody. How are you? For those that's new here in the room and don't know, this is Rick, and you are in the Hit and Run Candlesticks trading room. So if these doors shut and we take off and you're not going where we're going, you're in the wrong place. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Thursday? Thomas, Bob, Alan. Good morning, Ed. Angel, how are you? Hey, Billy, Emma, John. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Thursday. Exciting day. Hello, Thomas. Okay, so let's take a look at the market. I've got a couple of charts to take a look at. Good morning, Carly. The SPY here is still bullish to me. I think we're choppy. I think we're, choppy is not the right word here for the SPY. Actually, it's mushy, it's muted, it's quiet. It's not doing much. It's just sort of meandering around here. But the meandering around is in a bullish trend. It is still trending up. Price is still above the T-line. T-line is still above the trend indicator. Trend indicator is still above the 50. It's even above the 20-period moving average. So we are still trending. I mentioned last night going into the close that I am losing my patience. Now, I still think we're going to get up toward that 430 area, but it may be short-lived here. Okay, so, yeah. Trading is, and here's what makes trading hard right now. The SPY is working out, but look at the diamonds. The diamonds are not, or Dow is not. And this creates friction. This creates a problem. Because you need some of these engines running together. Qs, right now, Qs is the big engine that's running this market. In the SPY is a lot of Qs, a lot of Q stocks, a lot of the biggies there. So that's what's holding the SPY up. And you can see the Qs are definitely running the show. So if we lose the Qs here, if we lose the big tech, we could be in a little trouble. So be a little careful with that. All right. For those that follow T2123, down here bottom left, yesterday we closed a very, very little bit on the bullish side on the 15-minute chart, but the hourly chart we closed hopelessly bearish. So I'm a far cry from let's go get them. I think we should be a little careful. I think you should pay attention. Whoops, what am I doing wrong? There we go. I know for one, I'm paying attention to some of my gains and keeping in mind that I want to keep them. So as an example, here we go. So over the past couple of weeks, if I've made money, which I have, I've done quite well the last couple weeks. So if you've made money, we get into a market that we're in now. I really should have the SPY chart up here. If we get into a market that's a bit muted, a little bit mushy, it's kind of hard to trade because you've got these opposing sides beating themselves up, and the market itself ends up going nowhere. Well, if you're not careful, you'll have some losses. And if you were to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of wins, and you had 1 week where you just lost all that money that last week, that's probably not a big deal. Okay, you can live with that. But what happens is if you start cutting into 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, don't let that happen. So watch the market here. Make sure it's your kind of market. IWM, this is putting a hurt locker on us. It just can't get going. It just stuck right here. Anything between 170, 135, and 180, these two big fat turquoise lines, something like that, that's just chop in there. That's all it is. Tradable, if that is what turns you on. But overall, it just chopped through there. It's just going back and forth. One could say it's setting up for a short. Somebody else could say it's setting up to break out to the long side. That's why I have these lines right here, these big fat lines, so we can wait for that trigger to the upside or the trigger to the downside. All right, let's take a look at some charts really quick. What do I have? Oh, yesterday, I only had one I only had one gainer. It was a far cry from real good, actually. Been holding at that ABNB, here it is. Holding that short. I sold some down here, I believe it was. Made good money there. I closed it out yesterday because it was starting to come up for a small little 5% gain. So overall, I got out of ABNB positive. That was the only thing I closed out yesterday. So maybe today will turn out a little better. Certainly have some that I could do that with. All right, Tesla. I want to look at Tesla. The reason I do, there it is right there, is I'm going to buy Tesla. Now, I can't say 100% that I'm going to buy it today or tomorrow, maybe even Monday, but I'm going to buy Tesla. I'm looking at Tesla here, and we have this downtrend line. And here's some targets I have up here. You can see these little tiny lines. I'll make them bigger by putting bigger lines on there. There we go. So right now I see a 309 target, followed by maybe 358 up here. Of course, we're going to have to get through that downtrend line. My plan is not to wait till we get above that downtrend line. So I would like to buy it below that, actually. But what I do want is I want the power of the 200 period moving average, which is laying right here about 199.35, maybe a little less, I guess. There we go. Let's just call it 199, okay? So the power of the 200 is what I'm looking for. Now, let's just put this in here. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to buy it if it was to pull back a little bit. That would even make me a little bit happier, I think. So a little bit happier if it was to pull back. And I've got my trend, my trading trend that I use right in here. And that's what I'm going to look to buy. So stay tuned on that. A couple others that look really good. Well, Amazon is still working, still holding that one, and it's still working. UPS here is still looking a little bit to the short side. You know, this morning here we're popping up a little bit, but that's nowhere near any kind of a, reason to get in. Overall, the chart looks short. American Airlines still looks good here. American Airlines broke out over that trend line, and we've pulled back a little bit. We're just kind of riding that trend line. Looks good there. Intel. Let's talk about Intel. I think Intel is one that I'm planning on buying too. I was listening to some of the news last night, and there's some people that's pretty down on Intel. Intel's had a tough go, no doubt. They've been hit with some harsh stuff, it seems like, over the last couple of years. They just haven't been in the game. Well, they just might be starting to get into that game. Now, I don't have to be in a hurry to buy it. I would like to buy it somewhere in this box. We'll look for a pullback here. But if we just take a look at the weekly chart, we look at that weekly chart. By the way, the weekly chart is a rounded bottom breakout for those that trade weekly charts. For those that trade rounded bottom breakouts. Well, even if I didn't buy it till it reached 33.90, a breakout of this high, man, that still goodles the room up toward that 200 period moving average, about 35% actually. So I am looking to buy it a little lower with anticipation of that breakout. And of course, if price action was to come up here and fail, then I would know to get out. It's kind of an easy trade if you ask me. Let's see. What else do we have here? Costco. How many people here like Costco? Wow, look at that chart. Look at that symmetrical triangle that it's put in here. Wow. I mean, that's just, it just doesn't get more perfect than that. And then, pow, here we go. So now we're set up. Let's put some targets up here. So we're going to just work with these peaks. Those are great places to work with right there. And then I'm just going to leave that line right there. It'll be close enough. So there's a couple of targets on Costco right in here. Entry-wise, somewhere, something like this. Somewhere in that area. We'll talk more about that today here in the trading room. XRT still looks short, although it looks like maybe the buyers are trying to pick some of it up here pre-market. Pre-market is a far cry from the end of the day, so I wouldn't get too excited with this just yet. I'm currently short. Looks like I'm going to do pretty good at the open on this down move. But it's not a buy till we get a buy signal, so nothing there. SOFI is another one that had a big move up here, monster move up. Now waiting for the setup that I'm looking for inside this box. The setup is going to be simple. It's going to be something that looks like this right here. Here's part of it already, and I don't know exactly where it's going to pull back. I can't predict that. It could just kind of hang around here for a week, a day, But when I start seeing those buyers, wherever they are, and it could be down here, I don't know that. And, well, I don't think anyone else does either. When I start to see those buyers, that's what I'm going to look at. This is what the chart will look like when it's all said and done, just like that. Now, I'm being a little... my cup is definitely full of water here. It's going to move up, so like that. So this move here is that move. This move, I should do this in different colors, shouldn't I? This move is that move. This move is the pullback right there. Now, I'm going to wait patiently. Thank you, Live Trading Alerts, for alerting me on this. I'm going to thank you ahead of time. So when it starts to alert, then I will look to buy wherever that buy signal is, and then we'll participate in what I want to happen is a beautiful move up here. All righty. Let's see. Chewy reported. Let's talk about Chewy. Chewy reported. That's looking pretty good. Look at that big old bullish engulf in here yesterday. So now what we want to do really is to break out over this 35.50 area, and there's a lot of targets to the upside on that. So we'll keep an eye on that one, definitely. Make sure that's on our watch list. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you off the bottom of the hour in about 25 minutes when the market opens up. You guys all take care. Thank you so much for being here today.